Hi there, it's Tamara, and this class is for people who suffer from vertigo. This was another request from a friend of mine. So there will be no down dog and a lot of standing poses as a way to cultivate a sense of groundedness and stability in the lower half of the body. I'll throw some balancing stuff in there as well. Now, as I've mentioned before, some practices I will demo, some I won't. This one I will demo. Let's get started. So come into a seated position with your right shin crossing your left, and just take your fingertips behind you and lift your hips up. See if you can be as directly on top of your sitting bones as possible, as opposed to behind your sitting bone, which tends to cause this rounding in the low back. If you have something you can prop yourself up with, a blanket or so, that can also be helpful. So for now, cross your right shin over your left and just bring your palms to rest on the knees. Feel the sitting bones root down into the floor, and in the opposite direction, ascend the crown of the head to the ceiling. So you're creating this sense of length in two directions, finding as much space as you can on the side body, and from the sitting bones all the way up to the crown of the head. Bend your elbows slightly so your shoulders are open and in line with the side body, as opposed to rolling and rounding forward. Now start to draw your awareness to the breath and start to deepen the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale to match. Use the inhale to find more length along the front body. Feel the chest lift away from the navel. Keep that lift as you exhale. Feel the rootedness down into the floor through the sitting bones. So you're alternating between the energizing inhale and the release of the exhale. So a few more cycles of breath here. Have a sense of this straight line running down through the center of you from the crown of the head down through the pelvic floor. Have a sense of equal length on either side of the waist. Now, keeping your chin over your chest for now, take your left hand to the right knee, take your right hand and bring it behind you. Resist the urge to twist right away. So your body will twist a little bit, but keep the chest over the chin. Resist the urge to lead with the chin. So we're going to start by finding length on the inhale. So as you inhale, ascend the crown of the head to the ceiling. And then using your hand on the knee, as you exhale, rotate the rib cage. Again, resist the urge to move the chin. Stay in the twist as you inhale for length. Ascend the crown of the head up. As you exhale, rotate left rib cage to the right. Last time, take one more inhale. Find length along the spine. As you exhale, open the right shoulder as you rotate the rib cage. Now turn the chin over the right shoulder. The idea here being that you're leading the twist with the rib cage as opposed to leading with the chin and just twisting in the neck. Take one more inhale to stay. As you exhale, unwind and switch the cross of your legs. So your left shin is in front, and again, you can use the hands behind you to come sitting higher on your sitting bones. Chin staying over the chest. As you take your right hand to your left knee, your left hand behind you. As you inhale, go straight up through the crown of the head, chin is level to the floor. As you exhale, peel the left shoulder back, rotate the right rib cage forward. From this position, find length, go up. Now as you exhale, rotate a little bit more, rolling the right rib cage towards the left. Again, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, rotate around using your right hand on the knee. Keep the twist as you turn and gaze over the back shoulder. And you can also turn your head to the front if that bothers the neck. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, unwind. Come to all fours. Have your hands directly beneath your shoulders, fanning your fingers so your entire palm can be rooting down into the floor. Have your knees hips distance apart directly beneath your hips. As you inhale, arch your back, so let your belly drop down. Pull the chest forward and up. Again, chin level to the floor, and then draw your shoulders away from your ears. You can have a micro bend in the elbows to make this happen. Feel all the muscles along the back activate and engage. Pull the chest forward and up. And now send your navel to your spine and round, do the opposite shape. Push the floor away, let the head hang freely, gazing back between the knees. As you press down through your palms, sending your shoulder blades to the ceiling. Linking the breath and the movement. As you inhale, arch, draw your shoulders away from your ears. As you exhale, round, send your shoulder blades to the ceiling. As you inhale, arch, pull your chest forward and up. As you exhale, round, contract the front body. 2 more times. Inhale to arch, expand across the front. Exhale, round, inflate across the back. Last time, inhale, arch. Keep rooting down through the hand, especially the inner hand. Exhale, round, rebound the back body to the ceiling. Come back to tabletop position and step your right foot back, plugging the ball of the foot into the floor. Activate the right thigh by lifting the kneecap so your quadricep engages, and then direct your tailbone to your heel so the low belly engages, supporting the low back like a tray. Keep all this work on the right side. Now left foot steps back to join it. Root down between both balls of the feet, sending the thigh bones to the ceiling. Keep your tailbone heavy. So if you feel yourself starting to sink and your tailbone going up to the ceiling, just lift your hips a little higher. Direct your tailbone down towards your heels. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, bend your knees to the mat and then untuck your toes. Keep the tailbone heavy so you're on a straight line from the crown of the head to the knees. And now inhale your chest forward without losing the shape. Lower slowly with your elbows moving in towards the rib cage so that your shoulders resist away from the floor. Belly lands, then ribs, then chest. Take your hands behind you, your forehead down to the floor. You can tent your fingertips here so your elbows are slightly bent. Have the tops of the feet on the floor, but lift your kneecaps up so your quads are engaged. Press down with the tops of the feet. As you inhale, squeeze your shoulders towards one another. Leading with the chest, inhale the chest up. As you exhale, lower down. Inhale, lead with the chest, lift up. The head will lift a bit, but resist the urge to lift the chin. Exhale, lower down. Keep engaging the quads by lifting the kneecaps. Exhale, lower down. One more like that. Inhale, squeeze the elbows in. And exhale, lower down. Place your hands next to your ribs. Come on up through all fours. Walk your hands back towards your knees and come on up on your knees. Then step your right foot forward. So your shin is in line parallel to the thigh. Now inhale the fingertips to the ceiling. So root down through the front foot, root down through the back shin, and away from that, lift up out of the waist to the fingertips. Take an inhale here. Now again, keeping the chin over the chest. Exhale, rotate to the right, bring your arms to a cactus position where the biceps are parallel to the floor. Take an inhale, reach back up. Take an exhale, twist. Take an inhale, come back up. Take an exhale, twist. Inhale, come back up. This time, bring the hands down, inch your front foot forward slightly. Come to your fingertips or palms. Tuck your back toes under. Inhale, straighten the front back knee. Exhale, bend. Inhale towards straight. Doesn't have to get all the way straight. Exhale, bend just an inch or two. Inhale, straight. Last time. Exhale, bend. Now place your palms flat next to your front foot, and that may not happen. You still may be on the fingertips. That's okay. pull your chest forward as you straighten your back knee all the way. One more time, step your right foot back here in plank. This time, drop your knees down, point your toes. Keep your tailbone heavy as you pull your chest forward. So just from your navel to your chest, pull up and out, and then pin your elbows as you lower one more time. Belly lands, then ribs, then chest, then forehead. And then interlace your hands at your low back, keeping your elbows bent. Send them towards one another. And then engage your legs. So lift your kneecaps. Keep the tops of the feet down. Big toes going straight back. As you inhale, start to straighten the elbows, but not so they're all the way straight. Still keep a little bit of a bend so you can pull the hands apart, creating some resistance there. Now lead with the chest and lift up. So you may not get very high, that's okay. Height is not important, but rather length in two directions. So reaching back through the toes, pulling forward with the chest, dropping the chin so the back of the neck stays long instead of leading with the chin. One more inhale here. Exhale, hands to your low ribs. Push the floor away. Come to all fours, and then again, walk your hands back. Step up with your left foot. So shin and back thigh roughly parallel. Root down through what's in the floor. So the entire sole of the left foot down. Feel the back leg pressing into the floor. From the waist to the fingertips, as you sweep the arms up, lift up. As you exhale, twist to the left, spread the arms. Inhale, back up, look straight ahead. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, straight up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, straight up. Inch your left foot forward slightly, lower your hands. Fingertips are palms as you tuck the right toes underneath you. Really press the ball of the foot into the floor. And now as you inhale, send the heel back. You can straighten the knee an inch or two. And exhale, let it go. Again, straighten it back. And exhale, let it go. Last time, straighten it back. And drop the knee to the floor. Palms flat. As you straighten the right knee all the way, pull the chest forward, step to plank. And exhale, lower your knees. Untuck your toes, come back to tabletop. Now take your knees a little wider than your hips, your big toes towards one another. Start to sink towards child's pose, but keep your head slightly up. Now again, this is considering the vertigo. Some people may not be able to drop all the way down. So just keep the gaze slightly forward between the hands. Fix the gaze so that there's a sense of stability there. Walk your fingertips forward until your arms are straight as you sink your hips back and down. This is really just about finding as much space as you can in the side body. Root down with the entire hand. And now spin your upper arms to the ceiling. So your biceps up to the ceiling. As you walk your fingertips forward any amount, keeping the gaze slightly lifted, sinking your hips back and down. So again, you're moving in two directions, back with the hips, forward with the fingertips, breathing laterally into the ribcage. And as you inhale, bring yourself up. Separate your big toes, tuck your toes, walk your hands to your feet, and turn your toes out slightly, your heels in. Just spending a moment here in a sort of modified garland pose. And then bring your feet a little closer as you lift your hips. Now again, I'm lifting the gaze in the event that folding in completely causes some sort of imbalance. Bring the hands to your hips. Notice I'm in a flat back. My knees are bent a lot. Use the soles of the feet pushing down, so the lower half of the body to lift yourself all the way up. Come to standing. Come to the center of your mat. Take your feet wide, hands at your hips. Start by turning the right leg out and your back heel slightly back so that your back toes are angled towards your front foot. Your back thigh, your back hip angle towards your front leg. Take an inhale to stay. As you exhale, warrior two. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, bend. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, bend. Last time, push the floor away. Exhale, bend. Straighten the right knee. Reach your arms out and up, heading to triangle pose. Reach your right arm out and up as you direct your front sitting bone to your back heel, and then bring the hand to the shin or to the floor outside the foot. For now, take the top arm to the top hip. Now, if you have the hand on the shin, resist the urge to push into the shin so that your knee locks out. Create a little resistance. So slightly press your shin into your hand as you press your hand into your shin. Now, roll your top shoulder open and then lift your palm up, your left palm, flip it to the wall behind you and bring it behind your back. If you can hook on to the right thigh, great. If you can't, no big deal. This is more about the shoulder. So keep rolling the shoulder open as a way to open the chest towards the ceiling. Gaze can be straight ahead, can be up to the ceiling if that's okay for balance, but it is a little more challenging. Most stable is most likely down towards the foot. Take an exhale here. Push down through the legs to come all the way up to standing. Hands to your hips as you one more time exhale into warrior two. This time reach your arms out. Drop your arms down, cross your right arm in front of your left. And like you're pulling off the sweater, reach your elbows to the ceiling. Send your forearms to the ceiling as you bend more deeply into the front knee so that the lower half of the body roots down and you're rebounding from the waist to the forearms. Take an inhale to stay here. Find length along the side body. It's okay if the shoulders come up. And now as you exhale, land the arms shoulder height. Let the shoulder blades drop down the back. Take an exhale to stay. Push the floor away to straighten the knee. Hands to hips, parallel your feet. Turn your left leg out and your right heel slightly back. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Exhale, warrior two. Push down through the ball of the front foot to straighten. Exhale, bend. Push down through the foot to straighten. Exhale, bend. Straighten the front knee. Exhale, bend. And then last time, push the floor away. Exhale, bend. Straighten the front knee. Reach your arms out and up to shoulder height. Reach your left fingertips long as you draw the front sitting bone to the back heel. Find more length from the left waist to the left fingertips. Hand comes down. Bring your top hand to your hip for now. So again, gently pressing the shin into the hand so you're not just dumping into the leg. Bring the right hand up, flip it back, bring it behind your back. And then roll the shoulder open so the shoulder starts the twist as your left rib cage rolls forward. Again, gaze wherever you feel most stable. Now slightly press the feet apart. I didn't say that on the other side, but it can be a great way of stabilizing the foundation, the lower half of the body. And root down through the feet. As you come up, slide the right hand to the hip. Left hand to the hip. Come back to parallel. One more time, same foot position. So right leg out, left heel back. Reach your arms out and up. Exhale, bend. This time, drop the right elbow to the right thigh. Take your left hand to your hip. And now, glancing at your thigh, use the right arm to move the skin of the thigh towards the knee. Move the skin of the thigh towards the knee and then roll the right rib cage forward. Take an exhale here. Keep pressing your feet apart. One more exhale to root down through the feet. Actually, let's add the arm. Reach the top arm back. Flip the palm to the ceiling. In this position, go directly over the ear. Oh, it's just nice to have the arm. You feel this nice long line of energy from the top fingertips, sealing the outer border of the back foot down, the pinky toe heavy. Now exhale down through the feet. And then inhale, push the floor away, come all the way up. Hands to your hips. As you open the left leg, the left foot, spin your right heel back. Inhale, arms to shoulder height. Exhale, bend deeply. Drop the right elbow down. The left elbow down, the right hand comes to your hip. Gazing at your front knee, so your left knee, use the elbow to slide the skin towards the kneecap. And then roll your left rib cage forward. Gently pressing the feet apart. Now reach your right fingertips back. Flip your palm up. Find a long line of energy from the outer border of your back foot all the way up to your top fingertips. Exhale to ground down through the feet, and then push the floor away, come all the way up. Bring the feet back to parallel. Hands to your hips as you now take the toes out and your heels in. As you exhale, bend the knees and then push the floor away. Exhale, sink the hips down and then push the floor away. 2 more times, bend the knees, push the floor away. See if you can track the knees over the center of the feet and push the floor away. Exhale to bend. Now interlace your hands up to the webbing and flip your palms so that they're facing me. Root down through the hips as you reach up through the arms. Now notice if when your arms go up, your knees straighten a little bit. It's very, very common. So see if as you reach the palms to the ceiling, it's getting hard, you can sink your hips down. 1 more inhale, breathe into the rib cage, and now exhale, bring your hands to the insides of the thighs. Let's actually flip so your thumbs are in front and press the knees apart. So just like we did with one elbow, do with both hands. Send the skin of the thighs towards the knee. You may feel a little bit of a relief when you do that. Either staying here, choosing a point on the floor to fix your gaze at. If balance is an issue in any of these poses, sometimes just steadying the gaze can really help. If you want to go a little deeper, you can bring the forearms down. I'm going to stay here. Now, press your feet apart. If you're down, come on up. And then everyone hands to waist and push the floor away. Okay. Toe heel back together. And one little balancing pose as you come to the front of the mat. So, glance at your foot. See if you can have the left foot completely parallel to the long side of your mat as opposed to the toes turning out. Take your hands to your waist and then bend into the left knee as you cross your right knee over. You can touch the right toes on the floor if that helps with balance. If you feel your tailbone coming up and out the back, that's okay. Just let it happen. Squeeze your thighs together as you sink your hips down. Continue to squeeze your thighs together. Now right arm under left, staying here, or backs of hands together, or elbows, forearms, palms together. Lift your elbows up as you sink your hips down. If you want to test balance, just lift the right toes up and away from the floor. Take an exhale, sink 1 inch deeper. Hands to hips as you straighten up. See if you can slowly step your right foot back, but bend your left knee a lot. Spin your foot down, cheat it to the right slightly so you're lined up heel to heel. Reach the arms out and up. This is warrior 1. Reach your fingertips to the ceiling. Now, without lifting the gaze, I'm imagining that may wreak some havoc on the balance. Just lift your chest slightly. And as you exhale, release the arms. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Push off the back foot. Come to standing. Shift your weight into your right foot. It may want to turn out. See if you can resist the urge by keeping it parallel. Hands to your hips as you cross knee over knee. Now as you sink down, shift your weight into your heel and squeeze your thighs together. Keep the toes on the floor if that helps for balance. Reach your arms out to shoulder height. Left arm goes under. Give yourself a big hug. And you can stay here and just breathe into the palms. This feels really nice. Or again, you can take a more classic position or a wrap. Couple of breaths here. Breathing as deeply as you need to. See if you can shift the weight into the back, the standing leg, heel. And now bring the hands to the waist as you push down through the right foot. Slowly tilt a little bit forward as you step your left foot back, cheat it to the left. So you're lined up heel to heel. You're in warrior one. Reach the fingertips to the ceiling. As you sink down through the legs, lift up from the waist to the fingertips. Big breath here as though a string was attached to your chest. Lift your chest. Keep your gaze where it is. And now exhale. Release the arms. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Push off the foot. Come standing. Okay. Now come to about the center of your mat. Again, turn your toes out. Sink your hips down. If the heels come up, you can roll your mat however much you need to in order to have something. That's not a very neat roll, but you get the idea. You can start at this end and roll it up. Then you have something to press your heels into, which creates more stability than if they were to just hang out in space. Press in with the knees. Pressing into the knees with the elbows. As you exhale, keep the pose, let the resistance go. Push the elbows out, knees in. And exhale, let that go. Last time, push out with the elbows. Lift up out of your waist. Exhale, let that go. And then drawing your mat back if you've wound it up. And from the pose, bring your hands behind you as you come onto your back with your knees bent and your feet planted. Hug both knees into the chest. Rock around a little bit on the low back. Now allow both legs to drop to your left as you reach your arms again to that cactus position. If it bothers your neck to look straight up, you can look in the direction of the knees. Some people like to feel the extra twist by turning their head to the right. That bothers my neck, so I don't do it. Breathe into any space you've just created in the pose. And again, if this is bothersome on the back in terms of the knees going all the way to the floor, grab a pillow and put the pillow underneath the bottom leg. Now send your navel to your spine. Motivate with the top leg. So that lifts up first and the bottom leg follows. Hug the knees into the chest. And as you exhale, drop the knees to the other side. Again, those cactus arms, descending your left shoulder blade to the mat. It may not reach, that's okay. Find some space to breathe into along the rib cage, the low back, the outer hip. And then navel to spine. Lead with the top leg. Come all the way up. Hug your knees in. And happy baby. Send the soles of the feet to the ceiling. Grab the outer borders of the feet. If you can't reach that easily, just grab your legs or even the backs of the thighs. Bend your knees on either sides of your waist. You can rock on your low back. Drop the shoulders back. Release any tension that may have crept into the neck. And as you exhale, release the feet. And
grab the backs of the legs and slowly start to rock on up. Back to the very first position, cross-legged. If that's bothersome on the knees or not accessible, then maybe sit on the shins. And either with the eyes open or closed, we'll take a couple of deep breaths through the nose. So as you inhale, breathe in as though from the floor all the way up through the pelvis, the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Inflate, allow the shoulders to come up. As you exhale, part the lips and sigh out the air. Feel the shoulders release away from the ears. One more time like that. Smooth, steady, big inhale through the nose. Fill up the entire body from the sitting bones to the crown of the head. As you exhale, part the lips and sigh out the air. So feel free to sit here for some moments if you have a sitting practice. Otherwise, you can come onto your back and finish in shavasana. Do whatever sort of resting pose feels good to you. And thanks for watching.